Good morning, Vietnam. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hagrid, also known as Tucker, coming to you live with Will's Outlook on a Thursday morning. We're running a little bit of a bare bones crew today. A lot of our team is traveling and doing holiday things and whatnot, so we are going to hold it down on this Thursday morning. Not a ton, to go over. Well, that's actually not real. I mean, we figured out that Michael Saylor was indeed the twopper of this range earlier today. It came out that he was buying Bitcoin. Of course, immediately the market begins selling off. Yes, we're gonna cook it up. Don't worry. Of course, the market starts selling off, right? Saylor does usually mark somewhat local tops. It is what it is, but what I'm really interested in is if we're gonna break this little consolidation upwards pattern to the upside. We'll see. I've got some thoughts. Will's got some thoughts. On the other hand, equities, where are they? We're seeing a little bit of a sell-off. We're getting a little resistance here, but all in all, I'm expecting bull chop into the end of the year on equities. So I don't know. We'll see. Again, the VIX is down at $13 low. So I don't know. We're just gonna kind of go with the flow, see where the morning takes us, boys. But as is tradition, I'm going to need you guys to smash the like, hit the subscribe, totally free, helps us out. Continue bringing these live streams. But like Tommy likes to say, there is no second best morning daily live stream, and there is no second best morning daily live stream audience, guys. No second best. All right. So Will and I are just going to kind of flow. We're just going to, comment. This is going to be casual. If you guys want us to look at something, we will. So let us know what you guys want, but we're just going to cook for an hour and a half. We'll see where we get. But Will, good afternoon. How are you? What are you seeing in the markets, brother? What are you seeing? What do you want me to pull up for you?
The real question is, should we continue the soul conversation?
Yeah, we probably should. Man. We probably should.
Because I think
Yeah.
like not enough people are really kind of like looking at it for what it is and acknowledging the potential here for soul to potentially be it's upside, right? It's upside potential or whatnot. So we kind of discussed it this morning. You think roughly what do you think soul can get to?
I was saying just to get back to the all-time highs is like what, like a 5x from, call it $50. Obviously, I don't think we're just gonna tap the all-time high. We're probably gonna get. Look, it was foretold that we're gonna get sold to 777 max, and I saw a license plate that said sold 777. So from here, that's a nice little gain. But Will and I were having a little debate of, he doesn't think there's really the RR and Sol because you can get the 5x out of Bitcoin and ETH, right? But if we are going to get sold to new highs, even 500, 600, $700, that's a pretty juicy gain in my opinion. So I don't know. What do you think, Will?
Well, I can give you some reasonings why, and it comes down to a couple different things here. It comes down to basically, the dilution that Sol has already accrued. Um, that's going to cap the upside, I think, as all coins will, right? It's not just Sol that's going to go through that. But in addition to that, payments to the team, sell offs, for different things, promotions, advertising, that's gonna, drain more liquidity, so on and so forth. And I think like when you look at all that and you kind of compile it together, you got to look at something. You got to be like, all right, let's look at some realistic targets here, and let's guesstimate what we think will happen here. And I don't see the RR being there on Sol due to all these different factors, right? I don't see Sol flipping Ethereum, and so because I don't see Sol flipping Ethereum, again, that just that puts even more bearishness on the upside for me, as far as wanting to be an investor in Sol and relatively deal with the downside potential as well as the upside potential, but being capped on your potential. I just think that there's so many better. This is gonna be a hot take. People are gonna hate on me. It's fine. It's
We
whatever.
like the
But
hot takes, Will. We need them. We need them.
I think there's just better plays. Like, I think there's just better plays where you can make multiples uh, in a much more clear way. Now, granted, Sol is the safety pick, sure. I think, like, if you're looking for safety, you could say Sol, Ethereum, Bitcoin, so on and so forth. But I mean, if you're here for safety, I could show you the bond market. That's safety, right? If you're here to make
Mhm.
money, you're here to take risk. And I don't feel that multi-billion-dollar, especially above the tens of billions of dollars, uh, coins are worth my time and effort on risk, right? I like to be risky when I'm risking, and I don't think that there's enough risk in Soul. I'll put it that way.
Not enough risk for Will's outlook, huh?
Maybe that's the easier way to put it, right? Maybe that's the easier way to put it, is just the risk is not there.
Mhm.
And that may be the normie conversation or whatnot and all that good stuff, but like that's really what I'm seeing with Soul. And because I'm not seeing the risk, I'm not really interested.
I think, if you're gonna in a bull market, right, you want to denominate in either Bitcoin or ETH, or now this is my point, right? Potentially Sol, right? Like if I'm really trying to get beta, maybe I denominate in Sol, and then that's like my safety, right? And then everything else is riskier than that. You're talking about like, different shit coins on ETH, different NFTs, Sol NFTs, which have been ripping recently, right? I mean, you could use Sol as your like safety, even though it's higher beta than Bitcoin and ETH, right? If you wanted to do that. What do you think about that?
I mean, you could, but like, why would I need higher beta for ETH and Bitcoin? I just, if I'm gonna go higher beta, I'm really gonna go higher beta. And I think
No, I
that
know, I know. But I'm saying you could replace Bitcoin and ETH as your like what I denominate in stack and just say, all right, I'm going to denominate in Sol, and everything else is going to be risk, risk, risk on. Because I agree. Like, if we're talking about where am I going to find risk and, find multiples, you could probably get a 10x out of Sol, right? But I'm not expecting like 100x, that's not the coin for that, right?
I wouldn't even be expecting a 20x. I wouldn't. Like,
No,
there's
I wouldn't either.
for me, there's such a capped upside. I'd rather just delegate in ETH or Bitcoin.
But see, here's the thing. ETH, I don't think it's gonna 10x in the next cycle, right? I'm not expecting 20K ETH, right? But I am expecting 500, $600 Sol, right? That's the difference in my mind.
I mean, sure. I mean, if that's the case, I guess you could be looking at it like that.
Yeah, because I mean, I could see ETH 10, 12, even like 15K on a blow off, but I don't think we're getting 20. The Raoul Pal target or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's I mean, man, I wish I was buying it down here, huh? We shoved a lot in here in this 18 to $25 range. Shoved a lot, but man, I wish I bought that FUD. Would have been nice. Would have been real nice. But what do you think about Bitcoin here, man? What do you think about Bitcoin? Are we gonna break out or what?
Yeah, I don't know. I talked about this the other day. I thought it was more of a hesitation play for the market, and
Hmm.
so now it's kind of like, what do we do from here? So it's really up to the market to make the decision whether or not they want to, play the play here, or whether it's a tough call. It's a tough call when it comes to Bitcoin.
I'm gonna need that
Uh,
to hold, man. This FVG right here, this 12-hour needs to hold big time. Big time. because this, where's the daily? This has been capping our upside pretty staunchly, right? Every single time we've gotten above 38K, basically it's been a wick. So we're compressing here pretty aggressively. This is what I'm looking for, honestly. This is a 2-week FVG up at 41K. If we are gonna move up, I'm gonna expect literally what's happening. I'm gonna expect this. I mean, obviously with some chop in between, but yeah, I'm gonna need that to hold, or else you really risk going the other way, right? If you lose this and then retest that, and then you're probably gonna run all of these lows back from here. You're probably gonna run them all, man. And then you can maybe move up. I don't know, but this is a big level for me right here. This FVG. We're holding it right now, but you know what's actually funny is I bet you, yeah, ETH BTC is a bit strong on this move, right? Interesting. Interesting stuff, man. When are we going to see the rotation, Will? When are we going to see it, man?
I don't know if it comes. That's the thing. I see alts running. I see no reason for a rotation at the moment.
Into ETH.
Yeah, I think that everything right now is just kind of hesitating. You're seeing some. It reminds me of Pepe, right? When Pepe ran, you've seen a lot of alts run and stuff like that, and it just basically the market kind of stalled at that point. And everybody kept trying to chase high beta that just kept getting run and run and run until the beta stopped.
Yeah, I could see something like that for Pepe, honestly, man. Maybe not down there, but I think we probably get a nice little double bottom somewhere in here, if I had to guess. We probably run this back. It's on my shopping list. It's on my Christmas list, man. Some Pepe, some Caspa, some other things that I underallocated to, but yeah. What about the darling of the space recently? The darling. Celestia. I think it's got another leg in it. I really do. At least in the short term.
Celestia, let's see.
I think she's got another leg in her.
What TIA?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean
bro.
it could. It's just is it worth entertaining? The move back and forth here. That's really the question.
I mean, it's had great volatility. It's been fantastic to trade. I'll tell you that. It really has.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, I've been in it. I took some off the top here, but that's essentially it at the end of the day.
Yeah, guys, BB Discord was in down here. I'll tell you what. Right down here. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. No, but I'm going to pull something up real quick. We're going to look at this. We're going to look at Sol. Where is it? Oh, I'm on the 3-day. I don't want the 3-day, man. No. Too high time frame for me, Will. No 3 days for me. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I'm seeing something a little similar. We get this, and then we get that, and then you get the higher low. Right. I think you're probably going to put in something like this right around here, and then you're going to blast. Right. And then you're gonna absolutely melt face. Where are we? We're somewhere in here. Yeah, I think this thing's gonna go, man. I really do. Look at Soul. Look at the similarities in Soul. Let's paste this over here. We're gonna massage a little bit, guys, as we like to do. It would be something like that. I mean, we're clearly right in here, man. This is what I'm looking for on Celestia, honestly. This is the cleanest, easiest invalidation too of all time. Like, if we're in here on Celestia, these lows have to hold, right? Like, these lows have to hold from about here, right? You can get that liquidation stab down, but if this is more than a wick, you're out, right? This is quite the setup. Now, I smashed it down a lot, but it's really probably something like this. 10, 7, 12. Yeah, this is it. All right. It's fortune teller o'clock, guys. It is fortune teller time, and you've just seen it. You ready for this, Will? Here you go. There it is. There's the Celestia future in the short term, brother. There is no second best. Intermarket analysis.
Yeah. What do we got here? Nah, bro.
Yeah, bro. Did you just miss all that analysis?
No.
I think you did,
I was
Will.
watching. No, I was doing my own thing, and then I looked over for a second, and you were already over there charting like halfway across the world.
Massaging, Will. I was massaging. That's it right there, man. It's soul. It's literally soul. I mean, tell me that doesn't look similar, right? Right here. Just right there. It's perfect.
I mean, if there was some kind of substance around an analogy there, like of a reason for correlation, then sure. It's always about correlation for me when it comes to these, but I just don't think TIA ain't TIA is the new kid on the block, right? Everybody wants to be the new
TIA is literally sold when it was $6.
$6. I don't know about that, man. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the market cap.
Wait,
I'd
did we
say
get?
maybe 20. Maybe 20.
Wait a second.
After dilution, sure. We can visit that.
No. Yeah, but we don't have unlocks for a year. I'm sorry. I just saw Champ said there's Fidelity filed for an spot ETF. Is that right now, or did they already do that?
I mean, they filed a long time ago. That's not new.
If that's right now, they're about to pamp it.
No, but Fidelity filed for a Bitcoin ETF. They might have filed for an ETH ETF. I don't think ETH pamps on ETF news. Only Bitcoin does.
No, ETH will pamp, man. Wait, we want Tau. I need some wrap Tau. Oh man, God, I remember this ticker. Tommy, if Tommy's watching, Tommy was in this thing, man, back in here, and we both cut it for like a tiny win. Jeez.
For a tiny win.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it was literally just doing this. And then I think we caught this move, and then we got out, and now it is what it is.
Let's pull up the Qs and check out the Qs and SPY here.
Hang on. What do you think of this? We had somebody ask about it.
I think somebody's looking at it because it pumped.
True,
I,
true.
I don't think there's substance to the conversation here. Like it's up big. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
if they were like, look at this at the low, I'd be like, oh, okay, and entertain it, right? But like because they're like, look at this now, it's like, what are you trying to achieve here?
What is that? Oh no. I could see it, man. I could see it.
I mean,
I hate
yeah,
these
I was.
normie patterns, man,
That's
but
what I was gonna say, man. That's what I was gonna say. What you
yeah,
got right there?
167 potentially. If you do nuke through this, then it'll play. That doesn't mean go short it right now, though. I don't even know if you probably can't even short it, honestly. I have no idea. Pull up Mexi Tau. Why? Does it have more data? No. Maybe. Oh my god. Yeah, it does. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. I mean, okay, look. I mean, you could say you're kind of giving some respect to the lows. I'll say that, right? But where's my volume? Where's my volume? This one doesn't have the head and shoulders at all, Will, huh? Yeah. Let me
Yeah, but now we got to figure out why are they so different? Is it more time or what? What is it?
there's your hold level, fellas, right there. Where's my yearly VWAP? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Bang. And a little long from the POC and the golden pocket. Stop under the lows. TP right there. Little 3R. Not worth it. Not really worth it, boys. I don't know if I would own this here. I don't know much about it fundamentally. Um, I know it's some sort of AI play, but I don't know. I don't know, man. It's already up so much.
What does AI play even mean anymore? That's the real question. If
It's
it's
like
not new, what does it mean?
no. It's the same thing that every equity company was doing in Q1 and Q2 and just saying AI on their earnings call 100 times. Now crypto's doing it and it's working.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is there comes a point where people become numb to just the BS.
Yeah, but I don't think we're there yet. Honestly, I could see this. I could see that. We're getting a little volatility, huh?
Like C3, if you look at C3 AI,
Mm-hmm.
that's one of those too. That's exact. That one right there is, that's the definition of
Well, how do you? What is it?
one
See
of
what?
those that popped off. It's an
I
AI
know.
company.
I know. How do you? What is it? What's the ticker?
I think it's C3 AI
No, there can't be a number in it.
or AI. Just type in AI and it should come up as C3.
Yeah. Let's get this off. No, I remember this. Yeah, I remember this, man. Oh no, it was this run up. I remember this. Oh yeah.
Remember us talking about it at the lows and then popped off, and now it's coming back down and retracing the whole move.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
the company
careful.
itself, like, it played the AI narrative, but it was never an attractive company, right? And so because it played into the narrative, people bid it, but in reality, it had no value because it was never a real AI company.
No, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't. Yeah, don't love it. Don't love the look at it. Um, what's another good AI crypto? Are you playing that narrative at all? Because that is a thing. That is a narrative.
Yeah, but I'm playing more on like the game AI crypto. So let's look at something like Delicium, for instance, right? Delicium is AI gaming. And they have like an AI chat bot and a bunch of weird stuff going on. So
What
what?
this?
Yeah,
What
no,
is
I'm
it?
not saying be interested in it. I'm just saying like that's I don't even know if that's even it. No, Delicium D
Oh,
DY.
DY what? You gotta spell it, brother. Will. Yep, that's it. That's it.
Sorry about that. I got to see it.
No, you're good. I figured it out. This
Did you find it?
is it that?
Yeah, AGI. Yeah.
AGI.
Yeah. See how it's kind of circular, rounding off.
Yeah, you can't afford to come back down to the lows again, or else it'll just be more flat, you know. I agree though. You do want to see the rounding. Where is this? What am I
Yeah,
doing?
you might want to see some pickup before you enter. But if you go to their site, they have like an a like a fuck excuse my language. They have
That's
a
what you want.
chat like a chat GPT bot on their website, and then they have like a bunch of cool stuff, and it's a gaming play. Not I'm not trying to shill. I'm throwing it out
Yeah,
there like these are the things that I'm kind of paying attention to because they're undervalued for the cycle. Definitely
yeah.
need to see some pickup though.
Yeah, you definitely want to see this thing continue to round out. Like you know, I wouldn't want to see it come back like down in here. Like you don't want to see it back down there. Yeah. Let's see what else? What else? Clean Spark earnings today. What are we thinking, man? What are we thinking? Look at
I
this Chad. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm interested in the in Tesla, man. Like I know it hasn't moved much, but like apparently they're now delivering Cybertrucks. Some are going out.
You think that's a sell the news thing potentially?
I don't know, man. I think it could be a small pullback, but I think it could be potential to create momentum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's one of those, it starts out as sell the news and then it turns around, and becomes the bullish narrative.
Look at this gap up here, man. Oh yeah. That's your target right there, boys and girls.
Yeah. I got 313. What do you got on there?
Oh, this isn't even Tesla.
Oh, my bad. CLSK, bro. You're going for 11? Oh,
Bro,
man.
wait, okay, we're going back. Look at the gap up at 11, man. I mean,
So, I
look,
mean, that is the spot to fill.
this thing has had no splits, no dilution,
It's still in that consolidation range, though.
$40 possible.
It hasn't even attempted to break out of that range.
No, it hasn't. I mean, this it's literally at the top of the range right now. Like you could
Yeah,
say this is the top of your range.
that's what I'm looking at. I'm just like, it hasn't really even attempted to move here.
Yeah, like this.
If it poked at the high and fell back, I would say, all right, we're good. Like, and we've seen this multiple times this year through setups. Is they'll come up, they'll poke through the high resistance, then pull under it, make you think bearish, and then rip through it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked like on their earnings today if we like did that and then we just, not all today, but or maybe they nuke it first. I don't know, but they'll probably play around up here unless it is a top, and then you're gonna get a formation like this, right? That's a top,
Yeah,
right?
that's why I said you got to be kind of cautious with it because where it's sitting right now, like even though it could look attractive, you could be buying the high of the rollover move before it actually breaks out.
Yeah, you could fully come back down into here, $5, like that would be totally fine.
Yeah. Now that doesn't mean that it's not accumulable. Like you can't accumulate it. It just means that you know where you accumulate matters. At least for now,
Hmm.
right? Until it proves different.
Look at that. We had this drawn. Somebody asked about RVF. Have you looked at this, Will?
RVF. What is
Rocket Exchange. It's like a non KYC fiat on ramp,
yeah.
basically.
I don't know how I feel about those, right? Like I'm gonna say feel because like I think if you're going non KYC, you're gonna start out as KuCoin and then go KuCoin's route eventually anyway.
Yeah.
Which means you'll be reverting to KYC, right? And I don't know. I don't see a world where KYC works at the moment, or non KYC works at the moment. It,
Yeah.
it's kind of like I was having a conversation with somebody the other day. They were talking about how they would scan wallets, and they can make you an accredited investor based on the assets you have in your wallet. And I was like, that's not a good way to do things. I was like, because what happens if the stuff in that person's wallets is stolen assets? Then you're basically evaluating stolen assets, and you have no way to tell if the person's, actually has the money behind them to be an accredited investor. And at that point, you're basically risking giving somebody a loan on stolen assets that are just not going to return because the assets are stolen anyway.
Yeah, that should, I mean, when you're doing accreditation, you need a third party verification. You can't just scan somebody's wallet. Like that's not the way to do it. But
Yeah, so especially in this space, because you do get a lot of people that like steal funds and they don't spend the funds. They don't take the funds and send them to their bank. They go and they get loans on the stolen funds,
yeah. Hang on.
and that will come back to bite those creditors in the butt. At the end of the day, it will come back and bite them. Because when that stuff kind of comes more to light that that's happening in the space, you're going to see the sec go after every single place that gives credit.
I mean, you could be doing this again, though. These are equal, aren't they? Man.
I
This
just
is
I,
how I'd set it up on Spot, man. This is how I'd set it up with Spot. This would not be a perps long for me, but Spot, I like it. I like it
yeah,
a little bit.
but wouldn't you say at least now TA still matters more than anything, but some FA kind of matters there too because it could be what creates the sustainability of the move. And
Yeah, no, for sure. And I haven't looked into the fundamentals at all. I just know it's a way to get fiat on without going through a centralized exchange, basically.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm just, and I'm not saying like we have to know what it does. I'm just saying like other people should look at these assets and be like, all right, what are they? What do they do? What ecosystem do they exist in, and how do they work? And then like there's certain charts that I just don't, even though they may be bullish, I just don't entertain them because I know they have no place, and that it's just it's a move that's happening now, and yeah, you could play the move, but ultimately, if you're taking it into next bull, it may not be profitable like you think it will be.
You see this, Will? What is FA?
FA, fundamental analysis.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it means kind of knowing the data behind the company. And when I say data, I mean like obviously with regular real world companies, stock companies that are publicly exchanged and publicly listed. All those companies have to post their quarterly earnings. They have to post their asset allocations. They have to post their debt. Everything out there is aired out. Their dirty laundry is all aired out. You can view it and see if the company is in a position to be profitable or not profitable, or if a company is a cash flow heavy company or an asset allocation company. And you want companies that are kind of healthy, which means a decent amount of assets to cash flow, because in the case that a company can liquidate, there's potential that that company that's heavy cash flow, that cash flow just goes away. Now they're not able to accommodate any investors, and now all the investors get screwed. Whereas like a company that has things that they can liquidate, they can essentially pay the creditors or the investors back at least some of the funds.
Well, I know you've talked about this one.
Oh yeah, and remember, everybody said it looked like shit.
I mean,
Everybody said it
it
looked
did
like
look like
shit,
shit.
and look at it.
Oh man.
I told you guys.
Wait, this is the AVAX, right? This is the
Yeah,
AVAX. Yeah.
yeah. This is Atlas, bro. Look, it's on Sol, it's on ETH, and it's on AVAX.
Wait, this has been out since 2021.
Yeah, it's a
Oh
AAA
no,
game.
no. I was thinking about Stars Arena. I don't know what. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Star
Stars Arena's dead. They
Stars
nuked
Arena's
that thing.
yeah, yeah, no.
It's rug. But
I know.
this Stars Atlas, bro, this is the one I told you guys down at the bottom. I was like, look how it's coiling. It's not even moving. I was like, there's no price action. It's going to move. And then, boom, look at it. Literally destroyed the charts.
So are we supposed to buy or sell Bitcoin?
What?
Right down to the facts, Will. Right down to the
I
up or
mean,
down.
let's go back to Bitcoin. Let's go back to Bitcoin.
I mean,
Let's give it some higher time frames than the 1 minute.
yeah, I was gonna say. I know you want the higher time frames, huh? All right. What do we want? Let's see. Let's check the monthly. Actually, let's check the monthly closes in 7 hours.
Monthly looks good. You're above support there. The 30K was your resistance support, right? And if you go back to the 30K, draw a line straight across,
I like this line.
and go all the way back. Go all the way back to beginning of the bull run. Boom. Go up a little bit to your 30K. Right about in there. That's kind of your mid range. That's why I was like, oh, your 33K is probably your touch, because it's the middle of your body candles between the 30K and the upper range of where we came out and bounced in 2021 and rolled back up again and then rolled over. And that mid range is where I'd like to see a retest at some point, but we could definitely test higher before we test lower.
We
So
need BLX, man. Oh god, let me get all this off.
we don't need BLX, man.
Yeah, no, we do. We need BLX because I want to look at 2015, not just 2019, in terms of pre-halving.
Well, I just ignore the COVID wick. Like, look at that. You could see where the COVID wick was, and it's a wick. Just ignore it ever existed and play the candle bodies.
Yeah, but I think we look a lot a lot more similar to this than we do to this. Right? Like,
Yeah, but nothing is ever going to play the same, because even if you go further back, our cycle before that looked different too. It's always going to be different.
yeah, no, it's
Doesn't
definitely
mean
gonna
it
be
has to
different.
drive forever. It just means that it could definitely go up a little more and then roll over and then come back up.
I think you're somewhere in the here. Like, I think you're somewhere in this. I think you are absolutely, indisputably somewhere in here. And so, with that knowledge,
I don't know.
what is there to even talk about? Like,
Next, just think of it like this. This is 2019. Next year's 2020. Go ahead and look at that perspective on the chart.
well, if you look at that, it looks a little more grim, right? Like, if you're in December of 2019, you're right here,
Mm-hmm.
right? So,
And you're trading sideways.
well, that's December, so, but it's totally different because this was like nuking, and we're just doing the opposite, which is so much more like if I had to
No,
really.
but mark your halvings, Tucker. Mark your halvings.
Oh, I got them marked, brother. I got the halvings marked. Come on now.
Yeah. So if you're talking about where we are, mark where we are before the halvings right now.
How many days before?
Do it on 20 before 2020, and then
152.
put a vertical on each one.
Yeah. So yeah, was it 152? Well, I need my yeah, good enough. I'm not gonna do that one. It doesn't matter. So okay,
You see what's kind of going on there?
yeah. I mean, it's like you're either in this garbage or you're gonna do that.
Yep. Either way, you're coming back to retest. So it's not a panic.
Well,
No, even there in 19, you came back to retest those highs.
no, but 15 you really
Or
didn't.
15, I mean. Yeah, no, 15, you came back and retested the highs. The high of that move. Look at the
Kind,
wick.
kind of, yeah, kind of. I mean, you
Yeah.
could say,
If we end up exponentials higher, like say we go to like 42, 48, then I would just, possible 37, 36, maybe 38 and retest, and then, we're going.
well,
Okay.
check this out. This is what people don't realize. This was a 40% move down after the halving.
Yep.
After the halving, 40%, right? I don't think anybody's prepared for that. I think everybody's looking at, oh, we have to have the move down in Q4 before the halving, like I was saying, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't have to happen. Like that's usually what happens, but that doesn't
Well,
have to happen.
what has happened every time is after the halving, we have had a dip.
You know
Whether it's
what
the
we're
highest or
having a
lower.
wait, Will, we're having a dip on right now is the like button, man. Will, I'm gonna grant you the honor of the like button shill. I haven't even looked at it. I'm just gonna go check it honestly here.
I
Let me
just, he said we haven't had the like button, hasn't looked at it. Nah, so I mean, if you guys could definitely grace us with your presence of pushing the like button. I know it's about,
Will,
a
we're at
whole
30. We're only at 30.
I know it's a whole
Oh
two
man.
inches from wherever your mouse is. All right. But if you could just slide it over, hit the button, so we can keep our jobs here at Because Bitcoin. We would greatly appreciate it because otherwise we may end up, jobless and homeless, and then that wouldn't be a good thing. That just wouldn't be a good thing. So
No.
if you guys could do that, I'll tell you what, we'll discuss ETH. We'll discuss ETH. All right. I know a lot of people like to talk about ETH, so we'll discuss ETH. We'll look at where ETH's at, and we'll give you guys some information on ETH and a few coins of your choosing.
Will, do you think the ETF will change things this time around?
Which ETF?
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. Does Bitcoin's ETF happen yet? I guess that's what you have to bet on. It's not change things this time around. It's, do you think it happens yet? If it doesn't happen yet, in your eyes as individuals, not Tucker, but as you guys as the audience, then I don't think it changes anything. If it does happen and you think it's going to happen this cycle, then it changes a lot. I would, if I were a betting person, which obviously, being in crypto and being in stocks, I bet a lot. Uh, but if I were a betting person, I would have to say that we'll probably see an ETF approval probably Q1, Q2.
That's what I'm
And
saying. The next most probable date I think was like January, like mid January, right? So I mean, if we just say this happens in mid January, I mean, we probably what are we looking at here? I mean,
the thing, I guess, the question that people use, I don't know if they're coming to more like, hey, does it make crypto more legitimate? Does it do? I don't think that stuff is something you should entertain. What you should entertain is making money and capitalizing on the market, in my eyes, right? And that's just what I'm going to be doing. But other people can do it however they want to do it. I don't think it makes crypto more legitimate in the government's eyes. I don't think that it makes them want to put it on your 401ks or anything else yet. At least not yet. The government's going to have to be forced to do the things that people want them to do. And the only way that that's going to happen is through time. It's not going to be through brute force. And the government is always, 5, 10 years behind our actual technological breakthroughs, because the government does not like to be the guinea pig for technological breakthroughs, as in like GPU upgrades, CPU upgrades, new technology upgrades, um, new methods for construction or any of that stuff. They are years behind. And if you guys have worked with government before, which I have on the government side, you know how long the process is just to get plan approvals or anything else, whether it be for construction or some kind of like monetary scenario where you're basically trying to get funds. It could take you years to get that through. And because of that, I don't, it's not, the ETF is not what's going to move the needle. It's just time is what's going to move the needle. Crypto needs time. And I think like probably another cycle or two, and it'll be a lot more legitimized in government size as well as the people's, right? And at a certain point, maybe they'll buy Bitcoin. I don't know. Maybe they won't. I prefer they don't. I don't really care if they do or not. I'd rather investors and institutions. They're more than welcome, obviously, because they'll bring a lot of liquidity. But when government gets involved, it's a whole nother playbook, right? And we saw that with gold and so on and so forth. When government and banks get involved, it's a different scenario.
So I'm gonna make this super super simple. What is that? 12. So yeah, Jan 12. Look, as simple as you can make it, right? You want to be allocated to spot at or before the yearly open of the halving year. Hands down, period, end of story. look at the chart. Like, that's all there is to it, right? Like, that is as simple as anyone can make it. Yeah, sure, COVID, black swan, whatever. Like, I mean, you would have endured if you don't count COVID, you just say this was going to be a nuke anyway, you know,
Yeah,
like
just
thirty,
if it's on the
you
monthly,
know,
Tucker, take out the wick and you're good. That's
yeah,
the whole thing.
exactly. Like, you're just talking about like we came back into here. What are we talking about? 40% on spot. I mean, to gain what? To gain 1,000? Like, that's good RR for me, right? Like, this would be the no. This would be the even if you bought. What am I doing? Is this not long? Hang on, what's going on here? Oh, because it's on log. It's all messed up. Whatever.
Yeah, that's long.
Um, mm,
But yeah,
whatever.
either
It's
way,
great RR. Like, I
yeah,
don't know
either
what
way,
to.
exactly, exactly. Either way, it's great RR.
Yeah.
I would say this too. Like again, we talk about it consistently. Are you here to grow or are you here to show? Right. I'm here to grow. So I don't care what people say about me or how they look at me or any of my DJing plays or any of that stuff. Like I'm here to grow my portfolio. And I tend to make really good picks when I do that. And I think there's going to be so many projects going into the next halving year. I do agree with Wabi on this, and I want to give him credit where credit is due because he did state this, and I agree with the ideology that going into the next halving, you got to look for those real winners going into it, right? Because these older ones that are catching bids now, again, this almost reminds me of the DeFi summer, all these other plays where you get these mid-year plays, right, where things like really do exponentials, and then they cool down for a bit, and then they run again. Like, if we look at, I love to point at this one specifically, Tucker, and it's ADA. ADA really
Mm,
tells you how the market operated going into 2021.
I was an ADA enjoyer last cycle, man. I'll tell you what. ADA enjoyer. All
But
right, what do you got?
let's look at 2020 and 2019. Let's look how ADA played out through those times.
What? Just like mark out the yearly open or what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, so so the 2017 ramp down or he rolled down right into the lows.
Let's go monthly.
So you got go over to your 2017. Do you have
Here.
that,
This is, hang on. We
or
should
is that enough?
do
Not enough chart.
KuCoin. No.
That definitely not.
Where's a good ADA chart?
I gotta pull mine up, man. Hold on.
MXC? No.
Yeah, it's usually one of the underground dirty ones. Hold on. They're
The
usually the ones to
underground
tell.
dirty ones.
They usually have the longest history when it comes to these charts, man. I'm telling you. Hold on, let me pull this up. Watch this. I have it on some pretty dirty ones. Let's see.
We're gonna find this guy.
Yep, right here. So
Bittrex, yeah.
is that the 2017? There you go. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's your 2017, and then where did Ada go at the bottom of 2019?
To Valhalla. I mean, to Kingdom Come, obviously. What, 3 cents? Yeah.
All right, it went to 3 cents, and then in 2021, where'd it go? Or 2020?
$3.
Sorry, 2020.
2020
Before the 2021 run up.
did a 5x. 15.
What month? What month was the pullback in 2020?
August.
August. All right, and it went into where?
7.5.
No, but what month? August to what?
October.
August to October. So if we're looking at, and where did it land? It landed right on the top of that W, the low range, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we still got the retest of the range, even much later, right into the cycle for altcoins. I like to use ADA as kind of like my altcoin, teller. It tells the secrets of the altcoins. And if you look at ADA here, it came back, retested the range, and then rolled hard to the upside, right? And arguably, I would say that ADA, if it's going to do that again, if you look at where we're at now, we're coming up arguably touching the top of that W. So what we should break above here, probably head up a little bit, and then roll back and retouch the liquidity that we're currently resisting against right now.
But here's the the timing issue is the halving, right? Because this was post halving. We're not even there yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And we could literally trade sideways until there. If you
like,
look at the
what did
candle
we
pattern,
do November?
or what if we're on the lower range there? Yeah, right in there.
I mean, you could be like this. Let me get this line off of here. This could be like this.
Which means we're gonna do what for price?
Rip face.
No, I mean going into the halving, what are we gonna do?
Rip.
We're gonna walk sideways.
Well, I mean, it walked up. But
It
yeah.
walks up after. But I'm saying going into the halving, we're gonna walk sideways.
Yeah. And we have been for a while too, though.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. This is just a bigger range of the same exact move. That's all it is.
Let's look at total 3 though. Because that might be better.
Same thing with total. You're at the same range as ADA.
Having here's where we are now. Here's where we are if we were there. Sideways pump dump. Yeah, the timing is so off compared to 2019. It's hard to reconcile.
I think so many people think that the run's gonna happen before the halving, that it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's consensus though, because I know at least like new money is like, oh, having pump, right? And like even people who have been around are like, we need the halving to pump, right? So I think if we pumped before, it probably would catch people off guard. Like, actually, consensus is that this whole entire thing is a deviation, and we're going to nuke before the halving, kind of,
I
right?
mean, that could, I don't know, man. That could happen in reality, but like, if you're not prepared for that kind of stuff, sorry about the beeping. If you're not prepared for that kind of stuff, I don't know what to tell you, right? Like, you need to always have some cash on the side for dips. Um, I I think overall, like for me, this is just a range, right? And if you look at prior having for total, it's the same thing. You're basically just chopping. You're not really doing a lot here, and you're gonna continue to range here. And I think just people are getting overly excited with the move, and believe me, I don't care if the halving matters or doesn't matter, but I think the biggest fade for me is that everybody thinks that everybody thinks that everybody thinks that everybody thinks, right? And it's hard to figure out who's thinking what, because from one side you'll hear everybody's thinking the halving matters, so we're gonna probably rip before the halving, and then from other people you hear everybody thinks that the halving doesn't matter, so the halving's gonna play back into play again. And I like to take the, I guess, the easiest, most lax way to look at this. What has worked every cycle? Play into the habit. So I'm going to take the easy side of the play here. I'm not gonna speculate something new that has never occurred.
What, that we pump before the halving, you mean?
Yeah,
Hmm. The only issue with the halving is that it matters less and less every time it happens, right? So, like,
I mean, if we were going off the chart, I would say it matters the same every cycle.
I
It's
know,
just
but
Bitcoin pumps less and less. Yeah, that's for sure.
yeah, well, supply gets cut in half less and less, right? Like, here was 50 Bitcoin to 25 to 12 and a half to 6.25. It's about to be 3.125 or whatever. So I think those numbers are right. Actually,
Yeah,
no. This cut it to 50, 25, 12 and a half. I think this cuts it to 6.5. It's either one or the other, whatever. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the supply shock that occurs is less each time, right? Which is probably why we pump less each time. It's also a factor of the market cap going up and harder to move price, right? But like, this is real, right? Like, prior cycles, we didn't have ETF even conversation really. So I could see it. I could see it. But yeah, this is also real. The post having nuke would destroy everybody, right?
yeah, yeah.
Like,
And I think
nobody's. Go ahead.
nobody's expecting a nuke. Nobody, not even bears, not even bears, unless they're
No,
really,
dude,
really
bears
bearish.
are expecting a nuke, bro.
Not, 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 not dude that's talking, right? Like nobody's expecting any type of nuke of magnitude, except for like maybe like two or three big accounts, right? And I almost think they're memeing at this point. But
Yeah.
I would say like people are expecting a pullback, but nobody's expecting like a nuke, if you know what I mean. So,
Hmm.
um, it, that's just a hard one to gauge. I think just looking to expect versus just playing the chart is just the kind of like fade. Just play the chart for what it is. If it rolls back, then understand what it is. But I feel like there's been froth, but I just don't feel like there's been enough froth to really, come in and say, hey, this thing's going to cool down in a massive way, and we're going to go back to like 26 or 25. Um, I don't feel there's been enough froth for that, and I don't even feel like retail's been a participant in these rallies. I feel like retail's been sitting sideline with no cash flow, based on bank savings accounts, and watch this thing play out and hoping that they can get money to get in.
Yeah. Now, We talked about this a while ago. Tops and bottoms perfectly equal across every year. From bottom to top is 850 days, right? So this would put the top in March of 25. Kind of expecting the same thing, right? Like this should be an easy way to tell. Like this should be the simplest trade of all time, right? Like between here between here and the top, it should just be get long pretty much only, right? Like if we just
Well,
hide
Matt,
everything else,
go ahead and finish cooking.
like if we just hide everything else and just look at this and understand that they're all equal, like you're gonna want to be net long until Q1 of 25. Like that's all there is to it, right? Like
So Matt says buying Bitcoin has replaced buying bonds. I don't know because here's the thing: stables have been buying bonds, right? So it's like the conversation is like full circle when it comes to. I don't know if you guys know this, but stables are the 16th largest holder of U.S. bonds right now. So stablecoins are taking on now U.S. debt and buying the bond market to back the stablecoin that they have, and are now arguably acting like banks because that's precisely what banks do to basically be in line with the SEC. So it's really interesting. It's really interesting how everything kind of full circles, and now our regular institutions, our regular money flows, our government is now tied directly into crypto, whether they want to be or not.
yeah, no, that's real. Like that's why Tether is such a good Ponzi, man. They can just print money and buy US debt and earn 5% and then issue it and
Yeah.
just make the spread. Like,
And
yeah,
then yeah, it they're basically just twapping themselves up essentially with bonds, right? They're
twapping
just
it up, man.
twapping it up, man. Just rolling it. They're like, all right, print a little, buy a little, use what I bought, get the interest, buy a little more, print a little more, add a little more, and they just keep it rolling, man. Like the the stablecoin market has figured out the U.S. dollar Ponzi, and they are playing them at their own game. And eventually, I would say they're probably going to be one of the largest holder of bonds at some point. And then, what can the government say against the largest debt holder of their debt? Absolutely nothing. Then what happens to USDT? Guess what? No more investigations. Print all we want. We're your biggest debt holder. It's genius. It's genius in a sense, right? Um, and I think anybody not paying attention to that, you're doing yourself a disservice. You need to really pay attention to Ponzi's when they happen and how they happen. And some Ponzi's are genius. Some Ponzi's are just bad, right? And the bad Ponzi's fail. The good Ponzi's continue to thrive, aka the U.S. dollar.
Oh man, I didn't realize it was gonna be that. Look at this. Mm-mm-mm.
But
That's
going back to your discussion, though, Tucker, remember that low you just outlined? Drag that all the way across.
what
I want
low.
to show you something on a monthly from the where you came back up from 2019 and rolled back into that on the COVID low on the body candles. Draw that line across. Now bring that all the way back, just straight back. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Just beautiful, isn't it?
Deviation, bruv. Hang on. We're
But
gonna try
charts
and
don't matter. Remember, okay? Charts don't matter.
I mean it's the same. Hang on. Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Deviation, bruv.
Anything below 30K was a steal, guys and girls. Anything below 30K was a steal, and nobody wanted to see it. Everybody wanted to look at, oh, it can go lower. You got to understand when it's on sale, buy it. Hey, guess what? If I miss Black Friday and my GPU is 769 on Black Friday and it's Cyber Monday and my GPU is 799 from $2,000, it doesn't mean I wait and say, okay, we'll just wait for the next generation to come out and it will go lower. Because it probably won't. It'll probably go back up to $1,200. The next generation will come out, then it'll come down to $1,100, and you missed the buy because you were too greedy when it came to the market. You didn't want to buy when there was value. You wanted to buy when you thought price was going to go to a certain direction. None of us own these companies. None of us own these stocks. Well, we own them, but we don't control the money flow of them. And so in that case, you got to look at deals when you see them and buy them when they're available. That's just how this works. I will wait for the next generation. I mean, you see how it's played out though. Like it's the same thing. Like I like to use GPUs because they're so freaking expensive, but I like to use them as an example when it comes to these markets because that's what people do with GPUs too. They miss the Black Friday sale, then they want to skip the Cyber Monday sale, and they want to say the next generation is going to drop the price below where those deals were. They're not. They're not. You're going to be 3 or 4 generations behind before you actually get a deal on it at that point. But you see that
Yeah.
deviation, right? Like that was your mid range. That's what I was pointing out
Look at
before.
all of them, bro. All of them
Yep.
had the deviation, bro.
Every single one of them, they come back and they retest it, and then they go. They go.
That's what I'm saying. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overcomplicate things.
It's not a hard process. Just follow the system. Don't deviate from the system, and play the chart as it is. This is a wizard wisdom. I'm telling you guys, look, we come in, we look at the patterns, we evaluate them, and we give you guys the real data and show you guys kind of like what we see here. Like you got to understand value when you see it. You just have to.
Dude, I like this. I like this a lot.
You got to post it
Pull
on
back.
Twitter, man.
Yeah, you pull back at some point in here. You chat until like 100K into January of 2025. You blow off for the next 3 months to 260, and then you probably nuke so hard it's not even funny.
Oh, coming back to like 40, 50K. People are gonna
Yeah,
literally lose their minds.
yeah. Let's play with that. So, what was the retracement? 77. I bet we get 70.
What we were up, basically at 15K, we were up 3x from our previous low.
Make it
Think
a
about it,
little cleaner.
right? We were up 3x from our previous low.
Yeah, I bet this is something like that.
Yep. And people are gonna say this time's different, super cycle, yada yada yada. I'm gonna be sitting on the side waiting while they all continue to ride their bags to the floor again, and then I'll buy up all their bags when they want to sell them at the floor. Every cycle, man, it plays the same way. Look. I was adamant about this stuff, Tucker, man. Like I was like, dude, 25K is the bid. It's the bid. 20K was the bid. Like the momentum was there, man. It was just there. And if you saw it, you saw it. If you didn't, you didn't. But that value range it shows up every single cycle. You have to buy it. Have to buy it.
Yes, you do. You do. I mean, dude, this is too clean. This is so clean. I mean, I don't know if we get 260. That's a bit excessive, but
I'd say like 135 is my target, but it may exceed
I'll
that a little bit.
I'll be shaving at 91. I'll tell you that. I'll be shaving at 91. Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, what else you want to look at, Will? We've been going for a little while.
We could pull up ETH. Let's look at the 17 to now. I think ETH is pretty strong. I don't know. Like who the market maker is right now? Because somebody's market making that thing, that's for sure. Um, but it's clean. It's a really clean move here. Could definitely roll back here, but like, if it doesn't roll back and it gets to that white line you got right there, man, like it's going to pop hard,
Mm-hmm.
hard. Like people got to understand that. But I would expect a rollback before into that trend again before a breakout. But man, if look, it's all about your thoughts, right? On directionality. If you think direction continue up again, but you are also at what? You're at that value range. You are at this is Bitcoin at 28K, 27K before the 30K breakout. That's what this is right now. Look at it. Pull that white line across, Tucker. Pull that white line across.
No, I know. And we can even do this. Look at Bitcoin. Like, this is the same line, basically.
Alts haven't even seen a move yet, guys. Like I'm telling you guys, like that's why I went super high beta. Alts have not even seen a move yet. Bitcoin's the
Like,
only one that's seen a move. ETH
you're
is lagging
literally
Bitcoin.
you're literally like right here for ETH.
You are lagging Bitcoin right now. That's what you're
Yeah,
doing.
big time. And if Bitcoin put in a 25% move, you're probably looking at something. I mean, 25 is there. I'd say you get 30, 2,800.
Yeah, you're gonna move big time on ETH if this thing moves. Like it when ETH plays catch up to Bitcoin, that's gonna be your potential move right there, man. Like I would take that and I would cut that and then I would add it to something else of value, right? At that
Mm,
point, because I would expect the resistance like what Bitcoin's doing right now. And if you look at Bitcoin's current resistance, it's that range where they fell off, right? That flush range. They're right at the bottom of that flush range where they flushed all the way down to the 20s.
yeah.
And that's a hard resistance, right? You get back into there, you got potential to retap the high. You're going to play that range sideways, and then you're going back to all time high. That's just what's happening here. And here's the funny thing, Tucker. Pull up SPY next to Bitcoin next to ETH.
Add another one in here, huh?
Now show SPY's mid range of where they broke out.
You talking about what, like this?
Yep, right there. And drag it across. Drag it across. It's funny how it always lines up. Always lines up. Look at that. Every single time, the same support range, right? Came down, tapped it. Bitcoin arguably is where they're with SPY. It's probably in the mid range. Because for Bitcoin to match SPY, it needs to come all the way up to like 48K.
You could say, yeah. I mean, well, you could say this, something like that. Maybe even this one was the mid range. So,
Yeah, that's what I would call the mid range there.
yeah, you
But
could say you're like
SPY just used it
somewhere.
cleaner as a support.
You could say you're like somewhere in here on Bitcoin.
Yes, correct. That's exactly it. So you're like right about there with Bitcoin, which means you should have a lot more upside. So if you were to put Bitcoin or SPY up just a little bit, so as you can see, SPY is lagging, or not SPY, Bitcoin's lagging SPY, and ETH is lagging Bitcoin. That it's your play right across the board there.
Look, so here's the easy one, right? This was your shoulder, right? And this
Before
was
the
your
flush.
shoulder.
Yep, before the flush.
Let's
And
just
look
take
at ETH
boy.
shoulder before the flush.
Yeah, I know. East shoulder before the flush is much higher. Is like up here.
You gotta acknowledge these things, guys. Like look at your potentials here. So you can see the lag here in these different asset classes, and the further down beta you go, the more exponentials you get, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if we get we'll probably get it on Bitcoin first, and then ETH will come up to like in here somewhere.
Yep. Then Bitcoin will roll or run sideways,
And then ETH will catch up
and ETH
finally.
will catch up, and then they'll do what SPY did. What did SPY do directly after that?
Nuked.
And what did SPY retest?
10%. I mean, yeah, that would be.
It retested the mid range again. It came back, hit the line, bounced off it.
Yeah, so I mean, that would be like coming back into what, 30,
30,
31,
30,
30.
33, somewhere's in there.
Yeah, probably right in there. So on Bitcoin, we're saying 46 back to 32. On ETH, we're essentially saying 2,600, 3,600, and then
Probably like
2K.
28. I was, what do you got there? 2K? Oh,
I mean,
okay.
that would be the same level.
Yeah, I would scalp those and put them up just like 2 or 3K or two or 300. Sorry for ETH. So scalp 2 or 300 for ETH, scalp 2 or 3K for Bitcoin, and that's what you're getting more or less.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if it followed equities, that's exactly what it would do.
I mean, you can't get a cleaner lineup than that. You
No,
cannot get a cleaner lineup than that.
you can't.
Even the trend lines, they match the uptrend there.
Yeah.
If you were to
Boom.
draw the low end trend
Boom.
lines on all those, you would match the uptrend exactly the same way.
Yeah.
There is no second best.
There is no second best,
There's no
boys.
second best.
There really, really is not. Yeah.
I, I I know it's just the two of us today. I don't know. Do you wanna wrap it up here, Tucker, or you wanna keep going, or
Yeah, let's let's wrap it up, man. That was some just silly alpha we just dropped, guys. I don't know if you caught all that, but wow, that was a lot. But yeah, so I'll take us out. All right, guys. Again, I'll hit you with the like shill. We need the likes, we need the subs. They help us out. Go ahead and do that. I'm not gonna get all into it like Max does, but go ahead and do that for the boys. Last thing, as I'm sure you know, I have to give a little shout out to the Discord, right? We've been absolutely slaughtering it in the Discord, and there's really no two ways around it. If you go in there, there's a testimonials page. Look at what the members say. Do your own research, whatever. But myself, Will, Jackus, Tommy, Max, Wabi have been absolutely just cranking the market the last few months. So if you guys want a little more intimate knowledge, our active positions are daily, 2 daily calls of about an hour each, honestly, is what they're at this point. Then go hop in the Discord. I'll put some codes down at the bottom. We are running some promos and whatnot. So we have B Friday 30 for 30% off for a year for the Discord. Also, we have a free month, right? And that's going away pretty soon. I'm pretty sure it might be this weekend it goes away, actually. I'm not 100% sure on that, but we don't have that one for much longer. So yeah, free month, check it out. Doesn't charge your card or whatever. So see what it's all about, right? We love to chat with our boys in the Discord. We're pretty much in there all day, every day. So, you get this alpha plus you get a lot more actually, and what we're positioned in and what tickers we're looking at and all that good stuff. So, we very much appreciate it, fellas. The 30%. Let me pull up the 30% again. Somebody asked about that. B Friday 30 is 30% off for a year. So that one's a banger. That one's the Black Friday
that's
one.
massive.
So yeah,
Oh,
that's enormous. I don't even know why we're doing that, honestly. That's a big one. But yeah, check it out, guys. We're in there pretty much all day, every day, even on the weekends. So we're obsessed. We look at charts all day. This is our life. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, no, we appreciate you guys coming through. Will and I just holding it down on a Thursday. But we will be back tomorrow, obviously. And I'm pretty sure we have a space later today. I'm not sure who it's with, but Wabi will be running that, of course. And if we don't see you in the space, we will see you tomorrow at what, 10:30, 10:45 Eastern time in the morning tomorrow. So that is it for us today, fellas. Now let me find the closing screen button.
Real quick, Tucker, make sure that you post that chart. Make sure you put the mid-range on SPY.
Oh, the mid-range on SPY, of course. How could I?
Post that on Twitter, man. That's pretty crazy lineup right there.
That is a wild lineup. Look at that. I mean, are you serious right now? You don't get that anywhere else, boys. You simply don't. You simply don't. So if you like it, come check us out in the Discord. But yeah, that is it for us today, fellas. We will see you guys tomorrow. Signing off.